Made the record on Fatal Records, as somebody said before. We sent it to pop mags over in England and America and France, all over the world. And fortunately had good reviews in it, you know, like in Enemy and Sounds and Melody Maker. And EMI London heard about the reviews and got in touch with EMI here. And, you know, that's what landed the contract. Yeah.
How many did you make? How many did you press?
500.
Did you? And how many did you send away?
I'm not sure the actual figures. 400.
Oh, 400, not 4.
The English trade rag Sounds said it was the single of the year and how bloody fabulous. And in fact, I remember Ed called me up because he'd heard it on the ABC News that some Aussie band had just become the darlings of the English press. And it happened to be us.
My parents were getting inundated with phone calls and telegrams which existed in those days, and because I don't think anybody in the band had a phone where they were living. So communication from the UK and Australia was sort of something that would happen overnight, but communication from my parents' house to where the band was would, you know, depend on whenever I went out to my mother's place, kind of thing, which might have only been once every fortnight.
Here was this band, these guys that were only a year older, but whom myself and another gaggle of mates sort of idolised, and they had this record. You could put it on, and then you could file it in your record collection next to other records that you liked. It's like, wow.
DIY, do-it-yourself sort of thing that's associated with punk. How often did that actually happen? Like Sex Pistols didn't do it, The Clash didn't do it, I don't think The Damned did it. So did Buzzcocks do it? I can't remember. So really it was pretty significant, and pretty significant in such an important way to come out of Brisbane. So, yeah.
Stranded came out before. The first UK punk single was actually The Damned's New Rose, and then Anarchy in the UK quickly after that. And The Saints came out before all of that.
I mean, I'm Stranded was a fantastic song. It was just so urgent, it was so immediate and so in your face, and it had an energy which was, you know, you just didn't hear anywhere else until, you know, other bands around the world picked up on, or you know, started doing the same thing. The Ramones, or in Sydney, Radio Birdman.
Yeah, the context is really important, and I think even just in terms of Australian music, you know, as I remember, we used to go to the Bondi Lifesaver, and there you'd see Dragon or
Rose
Tattoo, and those, yeah, no disrespect to them, but they were just of a style. And when Birdman and the Saints came along, it was completely fresh and new, and people hated them because they were, you know, they were too noisy or whatever. And so it was a beautiful, exciting time where you kind of had this sense that you're on the verge of something.